Hello everyone, and welcome. I know it's been a hot minute. Gonna be getting into this rather shortly, but a quick life update. If you're not interested, you can skip ahead a few minutes. But, yeah, essentially I've gotten a new job, which is great. However, it does also mean that I do have a lot less time allotted to me. So, I will be trying to, be on top of things in terms of intervalos and, like, big releases, but unfortunately, as you may have noticed, I have not been able to really have any time to make kit reveal videos, and like I said before, those videos are also being produced by people with much higher quality and better channels in general than I. So I don't worry too much about that. I'll still review a kit that like really excites me, or like something like I feel like I have to, like Bad End Honglu. But outside of that, it might be a little infrequent from here on out, but I'm gonna do my best to stay up to date and also, just enjoy my time with the game. I don't want to make it like, a tedious effort. I want to have fun, as all games should be. But this is big. I'll be honest, I know absolutely nothing about Arknights. I played it for a time when it first came out, but that was at a time in which I did not understand what gachas were, and I didn't really understand what I was doing or, how to navigate the game, so I ended up just falling off because I didn't really get it. Fast forward, yeah, we're having this big collab event. It's pretty sick. I mean, the art already from the egos is incredible. I got all of them. I pulled all of them with the lunacy I've had stored up. Got them all to Uptie 4, except for the event one, which I will be unlocking. And yeah, hopefully I want to get the chance to show them off, and we're just gonna have a good time. So let's see how. Let's see how we're handling things in the unknown sea. Well, what's the dealio with the Arknights? Oh, okay. Interesting. So, alright. Cool. I don't really have family hierarchy leveled up because I don't really have a reason to do so yet. Doesn't really fit into my team comps. However, how about we go Pequod Captain? Why not? That's a fun one. Might be able to have some synergy brought in, but as you can see, have the bonuses going because I have all the egos, so yeah. Maybe we'll get a chance to see how they are.
내 명을 들은 시비수 결집이다.
Oopsies. Alright, let's go ahead and see what's up. Are you Dante? It's a bunny girl. I think her, what was it? Her name's, oh god, please don't throw me to the pyre. Is it Amia? Amia? I don't know. I think that's what her name is. Ah, what a relief. Gregor, I think Dante has come too. Yo, this art, though, looks great. I mean, Dante should be used to people with animal ears, you know, coming from our corp. We're standing by the Iberian coastline. How are you feeling? Yes, we're in Iberia. I radioed your colleagues when you briefly woke up earlier. They'll be here any minute. Wait, my colleagues? Oh, I'm narrating Dante. I mean, I can narrate him. It's fine. Wait, my colleagues. You must have run into the sinners then. Sinners? I think so. I ran into them earlier. They were looking all over the place for someone with a clock for their head. It's a pretty unique description, so I could tell right away that you were the person they were looking for. So this clock head does come in handy. Yeah. Manager bud. Dante. Gregor. Hong Lu. Miss Rabbit here told me she found you unconscious by the ocean. And phew. I came as fast as I could and oh boy. I was worried that something bad might have happened. Glad to see you're doing fine. Were you lost at sea? I don't know. Well, I do think I'm fine, though. I guess not having any way to drink water has finally come handy. You should go get that checked out in case... Wait, your head's waterproof, right? So, what happened? Where are we? Do you remember entering that Lobotomy Corp branch Sichun told us about? Yeah. Yeah, we ran into a new abnormality, and got sucked into it before we even had the chance to do anything. Man, I really thought that was it for us, especially with you getting sucked in there too, Manager Bud. But when we came to, despite waking up with our faces down in some ditch, we were all fine without a scratch. Though there was quite the mess when we realized you'd gone missing. We wanted to search for you immediately, but it took a while before we got a better bearing of where we were. So we're not at U-Corp's Great Lake? Some of us considered that to be a distinct possibility, but it's unlikely. Ishmael was really certain we were not in District 21. She did concede that we might be in an unknown area within the Great Lake of the outskirts, but that doesn't seem likely either, given what the rabbit-eared lady there said. The outskirts region of the Great Lake. I've met all kinds of people from all over Terra, but I've never met anyone who referred to the Iberian Sea in such a way. Not gonna lie, I think Terra is the best name for Earth. 40k, you know, did it. Apparently Arknights does it. Like, if we run to aliens, honestly, let's tell them that the planet is called Terra, not Earth. That'd be sick. Terra? Iberia? Iberia sounds like it's in the Balkans. So speaking of which, who are you? Huh? Really? You fellas haven't introduced yourself to each other yet? It's just that it's all just a lot to take in. Ooh, it's understandable. You did just wake up from a pretty harrowing experience. She is, actually, would you like to do the honors yourself? I'm Amia, the leader of Rhodes Island. Please just call me Amia. I'm Dante, manager at Limbus Company. I know I'm late, but thanks for saving my bacon. It seems that this Rodeo Island is a pretty big corporation, but This young lady with the rabbit ears doesn't know what the head is at all. As far as I know, there aren't any organizations in Terra with the same characteristics as the one Mr. Gregor explained. At least not with a name like the Head. Also, sorry, it's Rhodes Island, not Rodeo. I do wonder, is Arknights getting something? I should see what they're getting from the crossover event, because I feel like, I mean, usually it's mutual, right? I mean, well, actually, no, it's not. It's actually somewhat less common for it to be mutual, but it'd be really cool to see the Limbus Company characters in their style too, because they look great here. Sorry, Gregor's kind of bad with names. So, what you're saying is that we're not in the city anymore. It'd be weird for any higher up at this huge corporation to know less about the head than we do, let alone be completely clueless about it. Well, maybe we've tumbled into a previously undiscovered zone of the outskirts, or the ruins, probably. Or maybe we've really found ourselves in a completely different world. I think I can draw a connection to something else that's happening here. Really? Yes. Recently, anonymous signs and events have been occurring in Iberia, ever since a mysterious dimensional door appeared at sea. And it's been said that this dimensional door is connected to something very, very distant, to something that we've never observed before. So, it seems reasonable to theorize that the dimensional door is how we managed to cross over to this world. A bit late on the uptake to be gawking around for the other centers now, don't you think? They're at a settlement near here, where they're all helping out with various odds and ends of the village, while taking turns searching for Dante, of course. You know, I never thought about how difficult it would be to search for someone when we're like fish out of water, too. Man, barely got even a wink of sleep since yesterday. Everyone's got to be really tired then. So, it's just you two out here for now. No, Ishmael and Yisang are the other half of the search party. We just happen to be the last group in the rotation. They must be searching elsewhere to find you, Manager Bud. Woohoo. We got the news early thanks to Amiya's comms gear, but the other team didn't. Yeah, we got lucky. The other team, well, we don't have any way to get in touch with them, so they'll probably continue their search until their shift is done. Oh, are we talking about that village you mentioned earlier? Right. You've not been there yet? I guess it's a bit off the beaten path. Well, we're gonna have to rendezvous with the other centers anyway, so let's head to the village for now. I would like to accompany you there. Sure, I don't see why not. You helped us find Manager Bud, and more importantly, you seem to know a lot more about this place than we do. I don't actually know Iberia that well either, but I should be able to be of some help. They've closed their borders and have practically locked out any foreign influence from affecting them, but I did get a briefing before the mission. Those borders, huh? How did you get in, Miss Amiya? We followed Dr. Kaltzit's directions and illegally crossed the country border. Illegally? Oh, does that mean he crossed the border without obtaining any permission, Amiya? We had to cross the border somehow in order to investigate how and why the dimensional door came to be. Is this normal for pharmaceutical companies to be doing that? Large pharmaceutical companies often dispatch their agents for missions. Yes, Rhodes Island is, in its essence, a pharmaceutical company researching treatments for people infected with oropathy. But we also work to prevent and assist the management in various situations that can occur in high-risk areas. High-risk areas, huh? Wait, what about your companions? You came all the way here on your own. That's, we were forced to split up due to certain forces that were in pursuit. Wait, stop! There! What are we supposed to... Huh? Yo, cool! It's the Ishmael, ego. She's cool. I like her design. Again, move. You're in the way. You needn't to worry as you do. We have had ample experience battling monsters who are much like them. Listen, I'm not worried. It's... Come on. Better to have 3 fighters than 1, right? Besides, you're the first person we ran into out here, so we've got a lot of questions to ask. Yiseng, Ishmael, Dante, you are unharmed. And here I was, getting ready for a 3 days long search. What a relief. We were all really worried that we may never be able to find you. Ooh, we managed to find them thanks to the help of Miss Amiya here. Amiya? Are you two acquainted? Not a good time for a reunion. It can wait until after we take out the sea monsters. Scotty, are those organisms the Seaborns Dr. Kalsitz mentioned? They are sea terrors, to be specific, the less sophisticated ones among them. And they're probably here for me. Sea terrors. Cool, look at these guys. I was almost certain we weren't at the Great Lake, but I'm not so sure anymore. Do you think those creatures could be whales or mermaids? I don't know. The Great Lake and the outskirts are full of unexplored mysteries, after all. Dante. What do your senses say? It's unclear. I'd say the closest comparison I can make with the whales, but even then it's not conclusive. Huh? More enemies on the horizon. We should prepare for battle. Doesn't seem like we can talk things out with them, though. So let's take them out. Nice. Alright, cool, cool. I'm not going to be able to get any of the references going on or the story or what have you. Hey, that's cute. Alright. Hit him. Also kind of crazy, but Limbus Company hit its all-time player peak because of this collab. It's pretty neat. It's crazy. Best of luck to the collab people though, because like, can you access? No, you can't. There's no way, because they talked about Zichun. You can't access this without, you know, getting to the Kanto. Like, whoever's catching up to try to get to this collab event, they got a hell of a freaking grind ahead of them. I guess they could grind Mirror Dungeon, but still wouldn't be super great. I feel bad for Ishmael. I should probably level her up. She's a little bit behind on the times. Weak to slash though, so lucky for me. Here we go. Call him in. I love my high show. They're my pride and joy. Oh, with the centaur form and everything, that was sick. Love that animation. Ah. Another one? Look at it, 157 on the crit. Ridiculous. Good job, Ishmael. You're helping. Yo, the cool. Oh, that's sick. They have the mission clear. I see him from the other gacha. Oh, that's super cool. All remaining enemies have retreated to the sea. Good work, everyone. Yeah, didn't think I'd have to deal with anything remotely like this outside of the Great Lake. You can say that again. It would have taken us the whole day if that Scotty character didn't occupy the other half with Miss Rabbit helped while Miss Rabbit helped us from a distance. strange people who transform and ahead of a clock? I guess they're both technically true. While it's nothing more than a theory at this point, I think they have a lot to do with the dimensional door we're supposed to be investigating. Nice to meet you too, I guess? I only hear a ticking clock. Oh, that's because us sinners can hear Dante's voice. Huh? What's up? No, I'm just wondering how Miss Amia can seemingly understand Dante. Oh, I didn't clock that. Yeah, she could understand Dante. Yeah, what's going on here? Oh, yeah, completely flew over my head and I didn't even question how weird this is. Their voice sounds like a ticking clock to me, too, but I don't know. It's almost like I can sense what they're trying to say, what kind of emotions they're trying to convey. Well, I don't think it's a bad thing. That's true. It's been a bit of a hassle to always need Faust or Honglu to translate for you, Dante. I like to know exactly how she can understand Dante, but I don't think we've got the luxury of time to sit down and figure this out. So, are we heading back? Sounds like a plan. It's not like we know anywhere else to go, right? Oh, and Miss Rabbit here will be tagging along too. She said she'd help us find our way back. I'm glad to be working with you two also, Miss Ishmael, Mr. Honglu. Took the words right out of my mouth. You helped us plenty, and you clearly know a lot more about this place than we do. The journey is long. Perhaps embarking on it ere the sun's fall would be wise. How long's the journey? No idea. It's not like we have a clock with us. I do know that it's not very far, though. We just need to walk along the coastline for a bit. Oh, Dante can't tell us the time because they're not on time. Then why the clock head? I didn't exactly choose to get myself a clock-shaped head. Or maybe he did. Never know. The coasts of Iberia are hardly good places for people to live. Those things can go anywhere in this world, but they thrive at the places that meet the ocean. How did you people manage to build a village at a place like this? The monsters are called seaborns, or sea terrors, yes. While it is true that they pose certain difficulties, they were hardly the kind of monsters with strength to bring scourge and drive out the local populace. Don't judge them based on that brief skirmish. She's just telling us to be on guard, right? Scatty can be a bit curt, but she's not a bad person. I don't think she said anything wrong. Nothing rules out the existence of stronger variants of these creatures being out there. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of context I'm missing. Hopefully someone will come out with a lore video that explains it. Or maybe they'll inform us, who knows. Yeah, look at that big money.
핏물진 길일 뿐이지만 세월이 지나면
Damn it, I didn't read the title of it.
홍어는 그제야 알게 되겠지.
Oops. This hardly looks like a village. It's more like the ruins of one, isn't it? It doesn't seem like they've done any proper upkeep to this place. Not in a while, at least. They're really here, living together. You don't see these kinds of abandoned-looking ruins often in the city, either. Well, yeah. There's always someone or something out there waiting to capitalize on that free real estate. Be it a syndicate or a corporation. Fix it up. Better than this, at least. So where are the sinners? Ah, there's a clearing down there where... We were entrapped betwixt a twain of great ships, narrowing, winds against our sail. Oh. And that is when young Ishmael boomed, her command most resonant. Say no more. Of course, it's Don Quixote. Answers, ye dogs, oarsmen, 'tis the moment I, Ishmael, the first mate of the vessel Mephistopheles, shall navigate. Wah! Stop! Hold on. What do you think you're doing? Young Ishmael, unhand my mouth, for I was just about to regale them with the most fantastic tale of adventures at the great Manager Esquire. Barely, thou hast returned with Manager Esquire safely in tow. What? They found Clockhead? A burning clock for a head. When I was a child, I heard story about a legendary Sarkaz with a flaming head. Why would someone like that visit our humble village? While their exterior may carry elements that inspire fear in some, there's no cause for alarm. Yeah, they may look like that, but they're Dante, our manager, and the rest are... Oh, hello. I'm sorry, who are you two? They're two very nice people who helped us find Dante. This is Miss Amia, leader of Rhodes Island. And this is Miss Scotty, their operator. They'll be coming along with us for a little while. Eh? With us? We believe that the dimensional door, which we at Rhodes Island are investigating, has something to do with why you suddenly woke up here in Iberia. You are friends of our saviors. Saviors? Barely. 'Tis quite the grand title. Yet that is indeed the word by which we addressed. To be more precise, by saviors, they are referring only to Faust and Otis. Yay! Oh, the smile from Faust is adorable. Oh, shoot. Faust is probably cut off. I would be shocked if she could talk to the Gesellschaft, through the dimensional doorway. She's probably got her emotions on right now. So, I'm guessing something did happen. They were quite mistrustful upon our initial arrival. Oh, the elf guy. What business do outsiders have here? What if they're from the Inquisition? Oh no, what do we do? After all we went through to get here. Calm yourselves, everyone. None of them are carrying what appears to be their scriptures or lamps. Let's try first to see who they are. Man, just don't use the Encore IDs around them. Man, I don't think they're gonna trust us anytime soon. They're all old Kermdagens. That word always escapes me how to pronounce it. I don't get it. Let's STNC, then PTSD. Curmudgeons. It's curmudgeons. That's the word I was trying to think of. You can't do that, Ryoshu. We can't pillage their storage depots. It looks like they've already had it hard enough as is. I don't think STNC is a good way to get started either. Should we just find help elsewhere? Just look at how thin their arms are. Don't think they're in any shape to help us out. Perhaps we could inquire as to our whereabouts ere we are to decide our lodging. While the landscape is certainly reminiscent of U-Corps, I don't recall seeing or learning about any place that looks like this, though I can't say I've been to every corner of U-Corp. I ask again, what business do outsiders have here? Their fingers are tightened around the grips of their weapons. Prolonged silence will likely turn this into a hostile encounter. Well, we can't have that. Hi, we're from Limbus Company. We're fixers of justice. Yeah, that. Fixers of... Boy, don't you want to keep it down? Fixers? That over there. It's a ship blueprint, isn't it? Are you looking to repair a vessel by any chance? All these construction materials seem to suggest so. Chief. This does not concern you. It is not something a mere outsider can understand. Curious. I've never seen an energy source like this before. Have you run the test to rule out any stability issues? It seems to power the heat exchanger via some method comparable to the utilization of fusion energy. Have you any thoughts on this, Miss Faust? The general design structure seems somewhat old-fashioned. There certainly are inspired parts to this design, particularly with the usage of the core energy source. While its stability would need to be further studied, this technology seems to be incredibly energy efficient. You identified all that merely by glancing at this blueprint? You must be the village chief, then. If so, I have a proposition for you. In return for assisting in their ship repair, we were promised a ride on their vessel. Miss Faust has theorized that perhaps, by going out to sea, we may be able to find a way to return to whence we came. Does that mean we can find a way back somewhere out in sea? Nothing is certain yet, Dante. At this moment, we are working based on a hunch. A hunch? Yep. That's what I guessed. No issues were encountered in the repair process. My connection to Gesellschaft is currently operating at a suboptimal level, Dante. Also, she's not cut off entirely. So it's still connected at least. Indeed, it is. However, even exchanges of simple information are taking up dozens of hours by current calculation. Is this a warp train situation? Because we're in a different dimension? The cost should be identical, but we have been connected to an unidentified, unpredictable dimension. However, Faust is aware that the pathway to our original dimension is yet to close this time, unlike the situation back aboard the warp train. So, to get back where we came from, indeed, traveling through the pathway is the most feasible solution. And from that, you came up with the whole plan to repair the ship and sail out to sea. Yes, well, I am also a genius, after all. Amiya conjectured that we probably came through a dimensional door of sorts. Looks like that dimensional door might be what Faust is looking for. With high likelihood, yes. Oh, speaking of which, when do you think you can wrap up the repair job? As fortune should have it, a majority of the most time-consuming parts of the repair have already been completed by the locals. It shouldn't take us more than a day or two to get the core parts of ship shape again, Executive Manager. We'll be staying here for a few more days. Then, how did you manage last night? Well, like I said earlier, we've been keeping ourselves busy looking for you the whole time. We took turns helping with repairs and resting, but I doubt any of us got a proper night's rest. Still, we weren't cold, thanks to the villagers who kept the fires going for us all night. Not to mention how they helped us with a ton of that local map they drew us. Oh, also Chief handed us this earlier. What's it for? Ah, looks like a sack to collect water. Give it here. I know how to get that installed. It must be to repay Miss Faust and Miss Otis' effort at repairing their ship. Yet, the service they provide us is certainly quite generous, even when taking the transactional nature into account. Really giving us the best treatment they can, huh? As for food, we managed to fill ourselves with some cookies and bread Rhodia keeps in her pockets. They don't want to eat into their food supply since they were already pretty tight, you know? They did offer us some nosh, those dried fish things, but we refused. I ain't about taking food from the needy. Oh, look how honorable they are. No need to concern yourselves so much with our hospitality. You have done more than enough to earn your keep. There you are, Chief. Is there a place for us to stay the night? We do have a place to shelter from the misty humidity, at the very least. There's an empty building there, so feel free to occupy it for the night. Oh, are you sure? I mean, I don't mind sleeping in the streets myself. Hey, speak for yourself. I've been looking forward to sleeping at the roof over my head since, like, yesterday. You'll catch a cold sleeping in the elements in this environment, which is fine by me for the rest of you, but we cannot afford to have Executive Manager or our honored guests suffer that fate. Honored guests? Heh. I heard what happened from the four who left in search for the Executive Manager. First, I would like to begin by imparting my infinite gratitude to you for finding and rescuing the Executive Manager. I hear that you are the leader at a pharmaceutical company. This acquaintance shall certainly come in handy in case our stay becomes significantly prolonged, haha. I'm just surprised her boldness to say something so materialistic when they're standing right there. Can I stay in your village too, Chief? Welcome to Ferro Muerto. You are welcome to stay for as long as you want. Is Pharaoh Muerto just Iron Death? I know Pharaohs is Latin. I don't know if Pharaoh is Spanish for metal or iron, but I think it's just Iron Death. And please, do let me know if you find yourselves without food. Our food supplies may be tight indeed, but we have enough to share with those who helped repair the vessel. Oh, you better not go back on your word later. I wonder what kind of local delicacies await. Dried fish like they were eating earlier, maybe? Hey, Chief. Well, what is it? Just how are you surviving out here, by the sea? Perhaps the question of how we are surviving may be somewhat misdirected. We are only pursuing every possible avenue because we must survive. I'm going. Can't learn much more from here. Huh? You going somewhere at this hour? Scatty, does this have something to do with the coast? I remember what you said before we got to the village. I was thinking about how coasts are hardly good places to live in. Dante wants to know if this has something to do with the coast. Do you understand the Aegir language? Aegir language? No. Dante, Scotty just spoke in Aegirian. I couldn't understand a word of Scotty and the chief's conversation because I don't speak Aegirian. It may only be that there were enough lexical similarity between one of the city's languages and the language Scotty spoke in them to comprehend the meaning. Weird coincidence. Anyway, I have some things to look into. Something you're all too slow to see. You still have to tell us about it later. Please remember you're not on a solo mission, Scotty. This is a team effort from Rhodes Island. Will do. I'm kind of worried. She's not the best with people, but she's pretty thoughtful. She'll be okay. Should we head inside? The sun's starting to set already. Oh, yeah. We can probably just pick an unlit building and stay in the night, right? Nice. We're all camping out in the wilderness. It's great. There's sea monsters. You've got anime girls from other worlds. It's a whole thing. Terra. More lore. The lore. Okay, now that we're ready, with the curtains on the window removed, the smoke has an exit. Whoa. I thought we were doomed to shudder ourselves asleep with the soaking wet firewood and all. I had no idea that'd work. We just have to get the small fire going underneath it until the wood dries out and catches fire. The downside being all the smoke. It's clear that she has field experience, unlike some fools I know. I shan't sit here and let her carry the burden of labor alone. Bequeath upon me thine ingredients, young Rhodian, for I shall conjure thee a pot of special fixer soup. You're making soup with cookies and jelly? No. You're not getting anywhere near the kitchen again. Not after what you cooked up last time. Oh, it's great. Call back to Hell's Chicken. While I must admit to a certain level of interest, as many of our fellows viscera are oft racked with intense agony upon ingesting dishes of your making, perhaps it would be wiser that we save the occasion for a safer environment. Right, don't you remember? We agreed to leave cooking to Myrrh or Odie if we ever in a situation like this, remember? Did we? See, I think it's become sort of unspoken rule after everything that happened. Remember, back during last year's cooking contest at K-Corp? They were the only two people who managed to get the remotely positive reviews. Oh, does that mean we'll get to try Otis's cooking once again? Denied. We still have plenty of high-calorie foods like cookies and jelly here. I see no reason to do something so inefficient. I'm glad to see that everyone's still energetic, given the circumstances. It can't be easy to suddenly wake up in an unfamiliar environment. Well, we're all quite used to getting thrown around to unfamiliar places. Speaking of which, did you manage to reach your colleagues, Amiya? They might have lost their comms devices, or maybe they ran into some other trouble. Could they be in danger? I don't know, but I'm sure they're okay. The doctor, Dr. Kalstit, they're both more capable enough to look after themselves. Long had this curiosity lingered within me, thus allow me to inquire. Corporations are, by their nature, organizations in pursuit of profit. Yet the activities of your corporation resemble those of charity organizations, as opposed to a pharmaceutical company. Is there aught that might explicate this blurred distinction? Ah, I wanted to know too. How come a pharmaceutical company like Rhodes Island's helping people? Yeah, he's more knowledgeable than anyone about how bad pharmaceutical companies can be. There are many in Terra who are suffering from a disease. The disease crystallizes you. It spreads deeper and deeper into the infected's internal organs, eventually culminating in their death. It's called oropathy. It's a terrible, painful disease. There hasn't been any recorded cases of full recovery. But there's an even worse problem. Pray tell, what could possibly be worse than an incurable, deadly disease? While it varies region by region, discrimination against the infected is widespread across Terra. Those who suffer from it face unfair treatment. Some are quarantined in places with terrible, inhumane conditions, and there have been massacres too. I don't mean to be callous, but is this oropathy highly contagious? No. There have not been any recorded cases of infection by contact as long as the subjects are alive. But when the infected dies, the crystal grows on their body decay and turn to dust, scattering, which is what spreads the plague. Then, barring environments like active battlefields where casualties are to be expected, staying within close proximity of the infected in daily life seems to pose hardly any risk. So what's the problem then? They're already past the point of caring about what the problem is. Once people start feeling iffy, all logic goes out the window. And Rhodes Island's goal has to be... Yes, it is important to develop a cure for oropathy, but I think what really matters is that we change the circumstances for the better for the infected. That's not going to be an easy endeavor, though that is what gives your effort more meaning. I hope you can achieve that goal, Amiya. I really do. Oh, he's so cute. For truth. City, this world. We both live in a world's full of surprises, don't we? What kind of world do you come from? This city? Yeah. I mean, to be fair, compared to, like, certain settings, like, I mean, admittedly, her thing sounds pretty tame in comparison to the city. Kind of place where good deeds rarely go unpunished. Where sympathy's a good attitude to have if you like getting stabbed in the back. Nothing good ever works out there. It's a shite hole. It's an irrational place, full of absurdities. Absurdity is omnipresent. Therefore, it is not a subject by which one should be aggrieved. We could at least grouse about them, though. I mean, it's the only thing we can do. It would be more correct to experience more and acclimatize oneself to it instead of complaining. You did say something like that last time. Ooh, hey, look at that little sneaky sneak from Merceau. Kind of hints a little bit towards his Kanto, maybe. Barely, nary a day goes by untarnished by villains and their foul deeds. Yet worry thee not, for where evil riseth, so doth fixes of justice too. Don Quixote, watch out! Whoa! An elf girl? How farest thou? Fairest thy foot, you gotta apologize first. Last seemed a tad too hyper today. Nary, apologies, for I hardly expected the wall to crumble with such ease. Art thou unhurt? Any injuries? Two? Two? Pray tell, to what? Forget the apology, I just want to know what happens next. The fixers of justice rose up to do what? Oh no, oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh. Oh, Hast thou come to hear the tale of fixers? I don't know about coming to us, given how Miss Don Quixote was the one who punched the wall down. Ahem. Oh, is it too late an hour? I don't mind waiting till tomorrow if you want to sleep. Nay, not at all. 'Tis quite early an hour for tales. In fact, prithee, seat thyself here. You ungovernable fool, calm down. We don't even know who she is. Don't you forget to share those fisher tales over there in the corner not to disturb our sleep. Thou makest a fare most untenable. These tales deserve to be announced to the world with great gusto from the center. Yeah, that's the best way to hear those kinds of stories. But we should probably introduce ourselves to each other first. Names and mayors. I'm, how should I put this? Did you meet the village chief earlier, during the day? He's my Gramps. Oh, that nice guy? He had a granddaughter. Yet, I have not seen you once, Miss Mayors, under the sun. Oh my, you're right. I thought the village was completely dried of any young blood. You're telling me. Gramps was worrying over nothing and told me to stay put inside. Going on and on about the dangers that the outsiders pose and everything. It seems that they do not give full faith to their saviors. There are things you can't share with everyone for whom you trust with your life, though I would like to know why. My. So there are a bunch of other kids who are stuck indoors in the village? No, there isn't anyone around my age in the village at all. If that's the case, then I can understand why he'd be overprotective. Anyways, it's our turn. We are... I'm good. I heard enough to get an idea. You did? Oh, pray. How didst thou hear us? Via a listening device most secret upon our chamber. Bad soundproofing. I can hear pretty much everything of Don Quixote, right? Everything Don Quixote practically sang during the day. Verily, I see. Then you could really do with some sense of embarrassment for once. Well, I guess that's good enough for self-introductions, so... Care to regale me with the tale of fixers who brought justice to the evils of the city? Oh my god, yes. Indubitably. Then, this I shall do. I shall regale thee with a tale in which the legendary fixer, the arch-magnificence himself, herself, the Red Mist, hath... come on, guys, come on. I cannot believe they just dropped the Red Mist name just casually like that. I mean, you should play up all the fan service in a crossover. I mean, you should. Ugh. Suppose that killed any hope for a good night's kip. But, don't you usually pass out within a minute of your back hitting the hay, no matter how the noisy things are? What, need to be some kind of hibernating bear or something? Yes. Look, even I have trouble sleeping when the noises are all over. Yeah, you live just freaking... yeah. I'd say bear in hibernation is a pretty apt descriptor. For all that grumbling and moaning, he dozed off before any of us did. Meanwhile, the Fixer of the Zwei Association's first section. Oh! Yeah, it seems fun. This city Miss Don Quixote speaks of seems to be teeming with fixers of justice and exhilarating tales of adventure. Did you actually experience all of them yourselves? No, of course not. Don Quixote's stories are usually those of other famous people. But she's telling it with such vigor that it almost sounds like she was there herself. Well, I guess, if you really want to get into it, some of them might have been retellings of Don Quixote's personal experiences. Yep, she's very old. Yeah. Back in La Mancha land. Well, I think all the stories, even though they're only partially true, just go to show what a ridiculous place it can be. We wouldn't need fixers of justice to begin with if we were really living in a just world, right? A really good place to live with would be quiet and peaceful without someone having to force it. That's true. I hope there'll come a day when Rhodes Island can be a normal pharmaceutical company in the future. Something's wrong? No, I thought Miss Mayers and I made eye contact. Whoa, what happened then? Thus spake Lady Otis boldly before the soldiers who stood in our path. Thou presumest to stand in our path, servants of a master most unworthy? I, Odo, shall educate ye on how manner maketh of Hong Yuan. Yeah. Damn it, what kind of nonsense are you feeding her? I never said anything like that. Ahem, verily, certain aspects of this retelling may have been exaggerated. But that's Tales of Adventure for you. Things are bound to get a bit dry when a story is told too realistically as is, right? You know, nothing, not even anything resembling a proper record or book remained once the profound silence swept through this village. The profound silence? So I've always had a craving for these kinds of stories. But Iberia doesn't stop Iberians from immigrating, contrary to their tight immigration control. Have you ever thought about leaving this place? It's still a challenge across the border, especially since we're going to pass through larger cities that are managed by the Inquisition. You don't seem particularly fond of this Inquisition. Why is that? That's because this village was formed by people who were tired of living under the Inquisition's rule and fled. Sorry, but what kind of organization is this Inquisition? Yeah, just frickin', yeah, immediately thinking about Nagel and Hammer. Yeah. According to Dr. Kalstead, the Inquisition is what filled the power vacuum once Iberia fell into chaos. That its inquisitors are the rapier and lamp, wielding protectors of Iberia's cities from the lawlessness. That alone makes them sound like good people, though. Yeah, they are, but there's the Church of the Deep, Darcel 3. The Inquisition will go whatever lengths to deal with the incidents related to the church that worships Seaborns. An organization that worships those monsters? It seems that cultish fanaticism is a plague wherever we go. I feel like people with all kinds of wrong faiths and beliefs are so common. See, the Seaborns are the ones that messed Iberia up, so following their logic, apparently it's okay for them to arrest anyone who seems even remotely connected to them. Are you saying that Iberia is like this because of the Seaborns? Those things from earlier? I guess they were kind of troublesome to deal with, but they didn't seem that strong. Anyways, it's what I've heard from Gramps. The Inquisition executed many innocent people too in their crusade against the Church of the Deep. For those who proclaim to be on the side of justice, they seem to be quite fond of committing such villainous acts. It seems like a reasonable policy decision to me, but it must pose a clear danger to the daily lives of civilians. Yeah, I heard I was the only survivor. Everyone in my family died. You must have had to endure such a long period of pain. To be able to say something like that with such composure. For Iberia, they are heroes who will bring the land back to its glory days. To Gramps, they were just oppressors making his life difficult. That's why we're all come here, fleeing from the Inquisition's gaze. Yet, wherefore hast thou decided to settle at a place that is so, run down? Indeed. Yeah, I know, but it's not so bad once you get used to it. Besides, we managed to find a new path thanks to you guys. A new path? Well, it's getting late. Will you be repairing the ship tomorrow too? This place has no soundproofing at all, huh? Good talk, everyone. Hope we'll get another chance to do this tomorrow too. Okay, so, guys, I know you're running. I know the Inquisition seems bad. They seem like bad guys. The city, I don't even care. Just pick an organization in the city. They're probably 50 times worse than the Inquisition. I don't even know the Inquisition, but like, come on, just any syndicate. That's a cool looking ship. That is a really cool ship. The syndicate is probably way worse. Any of them is worse than the frickin' Inquisition, but. That is what we're going to have to call it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Very interesting stuff. I love getting hit with just a entire brick of lore that I have no reference for, but they're doing their best to explain, like, in very simple terms. So I'm sure it's very exciting for everyone on both sides of this. So, yeah. I mean, this seems like it's going to be a fight, so looking forward to that. But, thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you all in the next video, and do continue to watch for more of this Intervallo. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!